会社としては手を挙げてもらいます。 すみません、記者の方々、もうちょっと後ろではなくて前の方にお座りいただけますでしょうか。ちょっとこちらがこうスカスカに空いてますので、ちょっと後ろの列にいらっしゃる方、前の方に詰めてお座りいただけますでしょうか。 まもなく、首脳が入られます。もう少し、お待ちいただきますけれども、まもなく入られます。For those who are filming the movie, please stay at one place because there are camera under there. すみません、首脳が入ります。Leaders are arriving soon, so please be seated. そろそろ首脳が参られます。記者会見は同時通訳で行います。そろそろ首脳が入られます。陪席の方はどうぞご着席ください。同席の方はご着席ください。ただいまから第30回日 EU 首脳会議に関します共同記者発表を行います。まず石破内閣総理大臣から、続きましてコスタ欧州理事会議事長、そしてフォンデアライエン欧州委員会委員長の順にてご発言をいただきます。それでは石破総理、お願いいたします。
本日、コスタ欧州理事会議長及びフォンデアライエン欧州委員会委員長を迎えをして、30回目となる記念すべき日 EU 定期首脳協議を開催することができたことを大変嬉しく思っております。日本と EU は価値原則を共有する戦略的パートナーであります。日本 EU の関係強化は、我が国及びインド太平洋地域の平和や繁栄を一層強化するものであります。また、強固で安定した日 EU 関係は、法の支配に基づく自由で開かれた国際秩序を維持強化する上でも不可欠であります。本日、日 EU 間の協力について、その歩みを振り返り、今後の協力強化を見据えて、首脳共同声明を発出いたしました。安全保障分野においては、双方の優先事項である防衛産業基盤強化に向け、産業界を中心とする防衛産業対話の立ち上げに向けた協力を進めること、 日本 EU 情報保護協定の正式交渉を開始することで一致いたしました。国際情勢が激動の時代を迎える中、価値や原則を共有するパートナーである EU との間では、安全保障面での認識のすり合わせをしていく重要性が高まっております。ウクライナ、中東、東アジアの安全保障は相互につながっております。欧州とインド太平洋の安全保障が不可分であるとの共通認識のもと、本日のような首脳会談の機会を含め、さまざまなレベルで国際情勢の対応について協議を開いて議論を重ねてまいります。経済面では WTO を中核とする多角的貿易体制を守ることを含め、安定的で予測可能なルールに基づく自由で公正な経済秩序の維持、強化に共に取り組むことで一致をいたしました。日本 EU ハイレベル経済対話の拡大を決定するとともに、双方が競争力を高め、経済安全保障やグローバルな課題の解決に貢献すべく、競争力アライアンスを立ち上げました。本日の協議は転換点を迎える国際情勢の下、望ましい国際秩序の維持構築のために、日本と EU が G7 などのパートナーとともに取り組んでいくことの意義を改めて強く感じる機会となりました。昨日、コスタ議長及びフォンデアライエン委員長が関西万博を訪問されたことに感謝を申し上げます。万博を通じて、日本と欧州との文化、人的交流が一層深まることを期待をいたしております。ありがとうございました。以上であります。
ありがとうございます。続きまして、コスタ議長、お願いいたします。
First of all, let me thank Prime Minister Ishiba for hosting us here in Tokyo for our 30th summit. It is always a pleasure to visit Japan. Yesterday, I was truly inspired by the spirit of Osaka Expo, a place where innovation, culture, sustainability, and global cooperation meet. In many ways, it reflects the values that unite the European Union and Japan. Japan is the European Union's closest partner in the Pacific. Our partnership with Japan is not just strategic. It is based on shared principles and common vision. It is rooted in our respect for democracy, human rights, a rules-based international order, and multilateralism. In today's complex geopolitical environment, the European Union-Japan partnership stands as a model of principled, reliable cooperation. Today's summit is about strengthening that partnership with concrete actions, especially in three key areas: security and defense, multilateralism, trade, and economic security. Security and defense are now at the core of the European Union's global engagement. Europe's security is interlinked to the security of the Indo-Pacific. Japan was the first country in the region to conclude the strategic and defensive partnership with the European Union, and we are determined to deepen it. I welcome the launch of the negotiations of a Security of Information Agreement, and today we also committed to closer cooperation in maritime security, cyber, space, hybrid threat, non-proliferation, and defense industry. We reaffirm our shared commitment to multilateralism. The United Nations and the United Nations Charter, marking their 80th anniversary, and remain essential pillars of peace and global cooperation. This includes standing up for sovereignty and territorial integrity in Ukraine, in the Middle East, here in the Indo-Pacific, and everywhere in the world. It also includes tackling global challenges like climate change. We will work together to deliver a successful and ambitious outcome at the upcoming COP30. Lastly, on the economic front, our economic partnership agreement is the largest ever concluded by the European Union. It has delivered real benefits for companies and consumers on both sides. Our bilateral trade flows have grown by 20% since it is implemented. We are united in defending a predictable, rules-based economic order with the WTO at its core. And in a world of growing uncertainty, we are also stepping up joint efforts to boost economic security and resilience. The new Competitiveness Alliance we launched today is an important step forward, and President von der Leyen will elaborate on this point further. Thank you very much.
I also want to thank you, Prime Minister Ishiba, for hosting us here at the 30th EU-Japan Summit. And indeed, like my friend Antonio Costa, I saw yesterday the Osaka World Expo. Very impressive, outstanding. It showed us something Japan does uniquely well, and that is blending tradition with innovation. And that's what the expo is all about. It was truly a memorable visit. Dear Shigeru, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations. Congratulations on your successful negotiations on a tariff deal with the United States. This summit between the European Union and Japan comes at the right time. The world is changing rapidly. For strategic partners like us, it means being even more closer to face the realities of our times. And indeed, we are facing rising pressure on two main fronts. The first is geoeconomics, with growing trade tensions and uncertainty, fragile supply chains, the challenge of overcapacity and unleveled playing fields. And on the other hand, geopolitics, with rising threats to our shared stability and interests, from the battlefields in Ukraine to the waters of the Indo-Pacific. Today was about providing common answers and acting together. So let me start indeed with competitiveness. We know competitiveness begins at home. Europe is doing its part. We are investing heavily in innovation. We are improving the business climate and cutting red tape. But in today's world, competitiveness has to be built with trusted partners, such trusted partners as Japan. Together, Europe and Japan represent a fifth of global GDP and a market of 600 million people. So we have the scale to shape global rules on trade and technology in line with our values of fairness and openness. And that's indeed why we are launching our Competitiveness Alliance today. It rests on three pillars. The first pillar is increased bilateral trade between Europe and Japan. We build here on the strong foundation of our economic partnership agreement. It has risen in the last 6 years. The trade between our economies has increased by over 20%, but this was just the beginning. Now we must fully implement the agreement in all areas, such as government procurement, sanitary and phytosanitary standards, and others, so that we can unlock the full potential. We have also agreed to simplify rules where possible, to make life easier for our businesses, and to further promote mutual investment opportunities. The second pillar of our Competitiveness Alliance is strengthening economic security. Japan is a front runner here, and the G7 summit in Hiroshima set a clear direction. We're upgrading our high-level economic dialogue to steer cooperation on robust supply chains, especially for raw materials and batteries. This includes also intensifying the circular economy, securing frameworks for joint research, and the stronger protection of critical infrastructure, both physical and cyber. We will also work more closely together to counter economic coercion and to address unfair trade practices. The third pillar is our joint work on innovation and the green and digital transitions. We are continuing negotiations for Japan to join Horizon Europe, the world's largest research and innovation program, and I hope we can conclude them this year. Under the Green Alliance, we are launching new cooperation on the circular economy, on emission trading systems and clean technologies. And on digital, we are, among others, establishing a working group on submarine cable connectivity, including in the Arctic. So this is a concrete move forward to more secure and trusted data flows between our economies. And finally, as you mentioned, Prime Minister, we believe in global competitiveness and it should benefit everyone. That's why Europe is stepping up cooperation with CPTPP countries, not only to defend open trade, but to shape it. Together, the European Union and CPTPP countries can lead a meaningful reform of the WTO so that global trade rules reflect today's challenges and the risks of tomorrow. Finally, on security and defense, here too the work starts at home. Europe is building up its capabilities with an 800 billion euro defense industrial plan. And we also know that security today depends on partnerships. Therefore, it is so meaningful that Japan was the first country outside Europe to conclude our security and defense partnership. We want to put that partnership fully into action. Next year, we will launch the first EU-Japan Defense Industrial Dialogue, because together we can reduce dependencies and build stronger defense ecosystems, because it is grounded on mutual trust. Prime Minister, this summit reaffirmed the strength of our unique bond. In a world that is growing more fragmented, this bond gives us both clarity and direction. The direction to shape a world that reflects our shared values, open economies, secure societies, and fair rules. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。以上をもちまして共同記者発表を終了いたします。プレスの皆様は3首脳が退場するまでそのまましばらくお待ちください。
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio